Hello KeenGamers and welcome to another review. This time we'll be checking out the Victrix Pro BFG wireless controller for the PlayStation and PC. So let's jump straight in. The Pro BFG is the first controller from Victrix compatible with both the PlayStation 4 and 5 as well as the PC. However, just going by appearance, you can tell this is a totally different beast when compared to the standard DualSense controller. And indeed, the Pro BFG has many tricks up its sleeve where I can confidently say it can even give the DualSense Edge a run for its money. First up, the Pro BFG is packed with details that are an immediate departure from the minimalism of the DualSense. However, it's difficult to talk about the design, seeing as Pro BFG is actually a modular controller and its layout and appearance are totally up to your personal preferences. While I'll talk about modularity a bit later, there are some details that are set in stone however. The first is this nice rubber material on the handles to make the entire thing much grippier and more comfortable to hold, while the second is this almost carbon-like texture on the options, create and function buttons as well as on the triggers on the back. Also, purple is the color of choice for the things like the Victrix branding and parts of the analog sticks, which make them visually pop out a bit amidst all the shades of black. As for the general size of the controller, it's slightly narrower than the DualSense and is more in line with something like an Xbox controller. This means all the buttons are easily accessible and there's no adjustment period necessary coming from any number of first or third party controllers. You'd expect that such a feature-rich controller would be like a solid brick, but the Pro BFG at 260 grams is actually 20 grams lighter than the DualSense. While this can be a negative for those who like heftier controllers, it also means that the Pro BFG goes easy on your wrists and you generally won't feel any fatigue using it for prolonged game sessions. It is made of plastic, but using it for the past month gave me no indication that its long-term durability would be an issue. Sure, the rubber on the handles might degrade over time with heavy use, but at that point, you'll probably be buying a PlayStation 6 anyway. The standard buttons are pretty high quality and have a clicky tactile feel which makes them quite enjoyable to use, and it's the same story for the analog sticks. The rubber here feels premium and they are quick to snap back into place with no drift whatsoever. You also have some more than welcome pro features like the trigger locks and remappable back buttons. For the trigger locks, it's great that instead of set levels, you can calibrate how much you want to be able to press on the trigger precisely to your liking. As for the back buttons, I honestly found them to be much better than those protruding triggers most pro controllers use. They are perfectly positioned and have a nice clicky feel while requiring just the right amount of force to prevent accidental presses while gaming. But as I said, what separates the Pro BFG from the crowd is its modularity. In the package you get this nice little carrying case for the controller and all the accessories, essentially everything you need to mod this thing to your preferences. First, there are these two differently sized analog sticks and two different D-pad attachments. To switch these out, you simply yank the existing one out and insert another one. While this might not be as elegant as having these parts be magnetized like in more premium controllers, it actually doesn't require a lot of force, it's quick, simple and works just fine. Second, you have the fight pad module and two 8-sided precision rings, as well as this nice little screwdriver that will enable the real magic to happen. Now, I've had the controller in this symmetrical PlayStation layout for most of the video, but what if I want something a bit more Xbox? No problem, you simply take the screwdriver, unscrew the left module, turn it around, screw it back in, and voila, you have the asymmetrical analog layout. It's quick, easy, and incredibly convenient. Besides that, the right module can be replaced with the aforementioned fight pad, which has 6 flat large buttons that replace the 4 face buttons while also adding R1 and R2. The buttons here sound and feel like clicking a mouse button and are super responsive, literally turning the Pro BFG into a fighting games beast. As mentioned, the Pro BFG can be connected to the PlayStation 4, 5 and the PC, and it's all done either via the USB cable or the 2.4 GHz dongle. There's a simple little switch on the back of the controller that you just need to flick depending on the platform of your choice, and that's it. The controller works great, there are no connection problems and the range is pretty decent. On wireless, the battery is nothing to write home about, lasting for around 15 to 20 hours, which is on par with the DualSense. Now, the experience of using the Pro BFG for gaming on any platform is truly superb even without going into the more advanced features. The controller is ergonomic, comfortable and light, all the while feeling like a truly premium product. The ability to customize it only further adds to that by making it adapt to your every need. Need a more precise thumbstick to pop off those headshots? No problem, just exchange the one on the controller for a taller one and pop off. Want to pop off those shots quicker when up against an enemy? Just shorten the trigger pull distance. A friend comes over and wants to play with a symmetrical layout? Simply switch out the modules. Need an advantage in those 2D fighting games? Here's the fight pad. It's truly one robust controller that can do just about anything you want it to. Now, this is further supported by other features that are not tied to hardware customization. For example, the back buttons are easily programmable by simply holding the middle profile button and assigning any face button. You can even save 3 different profiles for these back buttons, so you don't have to reprogram them for your most played games, which is an incredibly convenient feature. But that's not all. On the PC, you have a fairly robust Victrix Control Hub app where you can not only reprogram the back buttons, but nearly all buttons on the controller to do something else. You can even fine-tune dead zones, disable buttons, invert the thumbsticks and much more. While this isn't exactly necessary, it's a great thing to have for those who want to dive even deeper into customization and get even more bang for their buck. And lastly, some concessions had to be made here when compared to the DualSense. Namely, the Pro BFG doesn't have adaptive triggers, haptic feedback or an internal speaker. Now, while these might be cool and fairly innovative aspects of the DualSense, they are truly not essential, and I honestly didn't miss them one bit, especially when weighing these features against everything that the Pro BFG brings to the table. With all that said, coming in at $179 the Victrix Pro BFG is on par or cheaper than most competitors, which makes it insanely easy to recommend. And heck, despite the lack of haptics, the whole host of its amazing features, coupled with the fact that it can be used on both the PlayStation consoles as well as the PC, even makes it a great DualSense Edge alternative and frankly, one of the best Pro controllers out there. If you like what you've seen in this video, as always, the product link will be included in the description down below. And also, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to KeenGamer for more reviews just like this one.